Hello, good day to all of you. I welcome all students who are sitting for the November 2020 Cima strategic case study. The pre-series is just out. It's a company called Knowledge City Technology Park. Shortly, we call it Kctp. It's a science park. It's a technology park. It's a kind of a different case study, not normal manufacturing or even service as such. It's a service industry, but it's a different one where we will have lot of high value asset based, but very little kinds of earnings coming up in terms of percentages. So interesting case study. I'm Kumar from Learn with Kumar, and I thought I'll do a little this video for you to give some tips how to get through this exam. Cima has given us a lot of guidance on our role as the senior manager and what we need to be equipped with, the core competencies, all that. So uh, I thought I'll work this video for you all. I offer tuition, online tuition via Zoom at very affordable rates. If any one of you all want any assistance for the strategic case study, you can contact me. Even otherwise, if you want any advice, information, forget about the fee. You can always contact me. I'll give you my WhatsApp number and my phone number. You can contact me. If you're happy with this YouTube tutorial, you can subscribe to my channel and you will receive more and more as I keep on doing some videos for the November case study KCTP. All right. Thank you very much. Let's proceed with the work. So, my experience of 13 years of online tutoring is that generally, towards the end of the exam, you feel very uh, handicapped, not properly equipped to sit for the exam. But it's a myth. You must remember the mindset you must have from day one till the exam is over. Yes, I can excel. We need only 80 out of 150 marks to get through the exam. So don't get intimidated looking at model answers and all that and thinking, my goodness, how to write all this. Just keep working hard with that positive mindset. And I always advise the last day, the day before the exam, have a good sleep, relax, don't stress yourself. In fact, this is not a real exam. This is really work kind of an experience. You must have a peace in your mind, relaxed kind of nerves to do this exam very well. Keep on improving our typing skills. So this is very important that we must start writing, typing answers. I know many of my students, they know superbly well, but they think that they can do it in the exam and they don't practice during the normal times. That's too bad. My experience is the students who write for 3 hours, keep on writing at least 3 marks, they are the people who will succeed. And also, yeah, the pre-scene, keep reading the pre-scene, take down notes. It's 20 odd pages, but try to reduce it to a summarized version of about 3 pages so that which you can read just before the day or 1 or 2 days before the exam. Unseen, you must invest lot of time to read it. 60 minutes is each section, 3 hour paper, 3 sections. 20 minutes of reading and planning the answer, I think, is a must. If you speed reading the unseen and try to do it from the very 6th minute of the uh, paper, I can almost guarantee a fail for you. First, you must understand you are the senior manager at a very strategic level. You are advising the board of directors on various strategic matters. So you must understand what is my boss asking from you, what is my CFO asking, what is my CEO is asking. And if he is asking a particular thing, you must address that particular thing. If he's asking about the supply chain, don't write about the value chain. If he's asking about distribution channel, don't write about human resources. you need to be extremely, extremely cautious to find out exactly what he's asking and keep writing what he's asking. So, very important that you read. My advice is 60 minutes, first 20 minutes, keep reading and try to find out, because generally in each section you find what we call subtask 1, 2, maximum 3. Find out what are those. And on the screen itself, put 1, 2, 3. The computer screen, you don't need a sketch pad. It's a waste of time. Put 1, 2, 3. Under 1, just about 3 points. More than enough. Good 3 points is good enough. Put up, this is what I'm going to write. Okay, one advantage, two disadvantages, or two disadvantages, one, or my recommendation and reasoning out for all that. Just put 3 points. Second one, maybe 3 points, maximum 4 points, like that. Then I will know during that 60 minutes, 20 minutes have already gone. Last 5 minutes, that is the 56 to 60th minute, I don't want to write anything. Because if I'm sending an email to my boss, it must be presentable. So I want to see whether the paragraphs have come up nicely, all that. So I'll keep that 56, 57, 58, 59, 60th minute for that one. In the 60th minute, the screen disappears. Before that, I'll arrange it nicely. So 20 minutes gone up front, 5 minutes for the right, the present finishing, 25, 35 minutes. 35 minutes means average the examiner expects 20 minutes of 20 words per minute, 700 words you should be trying to do it. You don't need to be exactly counting 700 and say, oh, 690. No, no. Just do 675, 710. It's all right. And that 35 minutes, if you have two tasks, and if one task says 60% marks, the 60% of 35 minutes, 21 minutes. 40% of 35 minutes, 14 minutes. So I will split my time because we get equal marks for each section and you need 80 marks to get through the exam. So 21 minutes I have allocated for the subtask 1. Even though I can write for 25, 28 minutes, I will stop it at the 21st minute. Go for the subtask 2 and start writing on that one, because otherwise I'll just keep on writing and suddenly I remember there's another subtask 2 and then I don't have time. So even the world's best answer, you will get 60%. And we have still not reached that world's best answer. So you might get 40% and you might fail the exam. But if you get 40% there or 35% there and another 20 marks from the other one, 55%, you have got through the exam. So this discipline we need to look at. Do it. On the screen itself, look at the put up the headings and then start doing it. So this is what I train you all in my online classes. I keep you all trained for this kind of thing. So if you're interested, you can always contact me, premakuma55@gmail.com or WhatsApp +9477 321 9387. Okay. Each task, as I said, give 3 to 4 minutes and explain them. You can get more marks by explaining, just rather than just listing out and just putting up, say why you say this is the best method to do it. Why do you say that it is not good to go to the stock market to raise money at this moment of time? Say because of the COVID-19, the stock markets are dull. Give out a reason, give out an explanation. The examiner has, I put up a slide on that one. From a 3 marks answer, you can go up to 9 marks by giving those explanation. And that's what going to make a difference between your pass and failure. Paragraph should be short, just about 3 or 4 lines, nothing more than that. Now the examiner has told us we don't need to greet him saying good morning, good evening, all that. Just say hi, whoever your boss. Start writing and just end up with regards. And he has told even he's not interested in bold and underlining thing, but proper paragraphing is necessary, a proper flow of the reading. You must always understand some person is reading your email or the report. There could be three responses when you get an email. If you feel that from the very beginning it's boring, you will say oh and leave it, and you might not read it. You might put it into the trash. Next one, okay. You'll keep reading, but there's nothing, no energy to read it. It's not so exciting. But the third response is wow, wow. Now your answer should be something like that. So you must always look at from the reader's point of view, that the moment he gets your email, from the time he opens up right to the end, you must picture him standing and reading it. It's so exciting. So from the paragraph one, from the line one, it should contain something that will make it's like a storybook. When you read that first page, it's so interesting, you will keep on reading. So this is what you must do. And the examiner has told us very clearly, one line paragraphs are not professional. So just because you need four paragraphs, don't write one line paragraph. Minimum, say about 50 to 60 words kind of paragraphs. That's about 5 lines. Answer all the requirements of the task. Very important. Keep on answering every requirement. Never miss anything. If he's asking three problems, 3 issues, answer all 3 issues. Just writing 2 issues is not good. Practical. And of course, we have the seminars report now. The case study results will be out of August very soon, and then they will release the examiner's report. There's a little bit of an interim report on May. Read all those things. It's good. It gives you a lot of knowledge. This is what I done in these slides. Start revising the technical parts F3, P3, E3 now itself. Don't wait till the last moment. Just revise it. Know the pre-scene well. You don't need to memorize the pre-scene. Industry analysis is important, but don't try to overdo it. And don't just blurt everything out. Don't just try to put everything that you know. Relate it to the scenario, relate it to the case study. And this is why I say invest on answer planning. 20 minutes for each 60 minutes. Last 5 minutes to finish it up. 35 minutes, keep writing. 700 minutes approximately, somewhere there, you should be writing. Practice it. Practice it from now itself. So 3 sections, task, 3 hours in total, equal marks. So you are marked out of 150. Section 1 will have 50 marks. Section 2 will have 50 marks. Section 3 will have 50 marks. In all 3 sections, together, we need 80. So you can get section 140, section 220, section 320, you have passed the exam. Or you can get section 130, section 230, section 320, you have passed the 80. You don't need to get equal 27, 27, 27, something like that. No. Equally weighted. Pre-seen materials is now already out on this Kctp, and 4 exams. So we will have the same pre-seen for November and for February 2021. But I don't want any of you all to wait till February 2021. Those who are sitting for November, this is your last exam, my dear student. After passing this exam, you are a different character altogether with those 4 letters, CGMA, ACMA coming behind your name. You are into a super profession. So therefore, put your best foot, have the confidence, determination, courage, and go for the exam. And all support what you will require. I personally, fee or not, I'm there to give you. So strategic level summary, wide scope, fully integrated. You should be able to give both qualitative and quantitative, financial and non-financial. It's strategy. It's all about future and something about the present, maybe about the COVID-19 present. But how are we going to handle? How are we going to face the future of COVID-19? Long-term decision making, because you are now at strategic level. You're moved one step away from the managerial level. external combined with internal. Fewer details. You are not going to go into lot of details in the strategy. It's fewer details, and one thing, your answer should be such that you should be able to influence the reader. You are a person who is going to influence the board. So it should be very professional. It should have a business sense. It should be ethical. The reader who is reading will, if he had some other thing in his mind, after reading your answer, he will be influenced to change his mind. Maybe all this time he was thinking of taking equity finance or CFO. And after you wrote this mail, he has changed his mind. And that's your role, to influence them, to do the right thing, to do the professional thing, to do the ethical things. We are covered by the Cima Code of Ethics. None of us are going to do anything that is going to violate or breach the Code of Ethics. So even if your management was thinking in terms of doing something unethical, your presentation will change it, influence them. This is what you should have back of your mind when you are writing for this exam stream. So don't think it's as an exam stream. You're a senior manager in this Kctp. It's a science park or a technology park. Uh, Somewhat sort of, it was started by the university, but now the university holding is 20%. It's a listed company. So we have outside shareholders. So you report directly to the board, advice on special projects and strategic matters. So special projects means they are one-off. They are not the routine ones, what you saw in the managerial case study. And strategic matters, all to do with future on strategic decisions. You should be able to support the organization and leaders to craft strategy. Today, at this moment of time with this COVID-19, I mean, our strategies need to be refocused, repurposed. So we should be able to give that kind of input to them. Evaluate and manage risk. When you are implementing strategies, always there is a possibility of risk creeping in. You should be able to identify those risks and work it. Value the organization. So look at the value statements and try to give the emphasis on those value statements. And these are the days, whether COVID-19 or not, companies need finances. The lifeblood of the company is finance. And you and I, we are the people who should be talking about the sources of financing. There are three main decisions that we do in a company: investment decisions, financing decisions, and dividend decisions. Three strategic decisions. And in each of these decisions, you, senior manager finance of KCTP, will have a big role to play about. So, what is the expectations from the senior manager? The board would want you to show them the implications for the business of a particular strategy. You should be able to demonstrate why this is not good, why this is good. You should be able to show them what could happen if you go on this line, right? If we keep on tenancy for 12 months, for example, what could happen? And not only just talking about the problem, how to resolve the issues. If we have some bad recruits, you can talk. Because of these things, we might face these consequences. But now, how are we going to resolve these issues? So it's important that we as students apply a business writing concept. They should be able to picture it, story kind of thing, not big, you know, jargon and all that. You must understand, we are Cima professionals, but the people who are reading are not Cima people. So should be able to explain your actions with examples. If you have any real life experiences, put it up. If you know any industry, any other people who have done it, put it up. But make sure only what is relevant. Just because you know something about, what you read in some book or something, don't try to put it up or something what the tutor told you. Something which is relevant. Give examples. Give examples of what you are trying to say, why you are trying to say that. Improve your business skills. So this is what I said. Always that the response should be wow. The person who read it will say, wow. Accounting and finance staff need to be able to tell the story behind the numbers. In our case study, we don't have number calculations, but if there are numbers, we should be able to say revenue going up from 479 to 500 million. Just taking some number, right? The growth is only, say, shall we say 5% or 4%. So we should be able to just don't put 4%. We have to say the growth is rather slow, maybe compared to our competitors. Our growth is not as per budget. Give the reasoning behind the numbers. So in an easy to digest manner, this is what we should be writing. So your communication skills are so important. So the exams are sort of designed to demonstrate the knowledge what you are gathered in E3, P3, E3, but in the practical sense, practical and applied, not theoretical or academic. So don't write the textbook back to them. You must always try to provide solutions to the problem that is there. Now, for example, a listed company, you might have learned in your funding sources, you can go for venture capital funding. Now, that's not applicable for a listed company. So, just listing out all those funding sources available and saying venture capital, that's not very good. You must apply to the real scenario. And today, if they talk about the COVID-19, this is not a good time to go to the stock market because the stock markets are dull. Maybe we can go for convertible debts. I was reading some article where they said the convertible debts are becoming very popular these days. So reason out why you are suggesting convertible debts and not equity. So there are 5 core activities in the Cima blueprint. Everything is coming from E3, P3, F3. You should be able to demonstrate your ability to develop business strategy. Business ecosystem so important. We are working in a collaborative environment. Recommend financing strategies. It's not only financing, investments, all that dividend. Mitigation of risk, most repeatedly, and sound control environment. So important that we set the environment from the very top. High ethical practices, high professional competencies, good corporate governance. When I read this case study, I was I'm just looking at some of the things. I realized there are some non-executive directors who are in the audit committee, but none of them have that kind of financial knowledge or relevant experience. And the code of ethics of the UK corporate governance code. We are not in UK, but still it says we must have a person with relevant knowledge of finance. So maybe you will suggest and recommend to have a NAD with that kind of knowledge. And then you have to justify why you are saying that. This is your case study, my dear student. So under each of these things, you should be able to demonstrate that the Cima blueprint says, I can evaluate strategic options. There are a lot of digital flavor, and I'm sure this is Kctp is a digital oriented. It's basically providing everything for people to do research and all that kind of thing, all IT kind of a thing. So evaluate strategies. The idea here is I can mean you go for an interview and I'm interviewing you, and when you present yourself with the way that you're presenting yourself, you will demonstrate I can evaluate strategic options. I can recommend strategic decisions, and I will recruit you. Have that in mind when you are writing the exam, as if you are facing an interview. Demonstrate everything. There are no right answers, no wrong answers in the case study, unlike in the objective test question paper. Recommend responses. So I put up all these things for you all to get idea, so you can see how much E3 is relevant for you. Now this is the second core competency, business ecosystems and business environment, all currency risk, political risk, everything. If you're going to move out, today most of the companies are moving out from their home territories into other countries. or maybe they may not do it because of the COVID-19, because traveling is restrictive. So you have to justify why you want to do it or why you don't want to do it. KPIs, recommend financial strategies, again P3, F3, some part of E3, dividend policy. If you go to pre-sale, you will see this company, our company, they are paying a very high dividend payout. And the competitor company pays a very little dividend payout. So we have to justify. If you are making a different strategy, why you recommend? Why we should not pay a high dividend payout? So these are the very important ones. Mitigating risk. Risk is so much, particularly the cyber risk. So how to work through. So in P3, there are a lot of chapters. Try to take some short notes, read it, and get these things into your head. Cima magazines, there are a lot of articles. If you have time, try to read it. This is what I do in my classes. I go through all these Cima articles, summarize, and put it into some PowerPoint slides, and I share with you all. I do classes only on a one-to-one basis on Zoom. I don't do group classes on Learn with Kumar. I do group classes with some other academies, but as far as I'm concerned, I do only one-to-one. So if you need, please contact me. Recommend and maintain a sound control internet environment. Internal audit is one of the big tools a company has. And we can see in this company, we do have an internal audit. So it's so important. We get the best out of internal audit. They are no longer watchdogs. They are no longer there to check your petty cash voucher. We can get them a massive input from them, provided we know how to get them. They are independent. We can't dictate terms to them, but we can get their assistance. When they give a report, we value that report. This is what we have to look at. Good corporate governance. There's no substitute for good corporate governance. We need to be looking at all the time. So general mark-in guidance the CIMA has given, the latest print they are given. We are not penalized for omissions, so we don't get any minus marks, so don't worry. Keep writing good things. You are rewarded for what you are demonstrated. But if you write out of context things, relevant things, you get 0 marks. You don't get minus marks, but you get 0 marks. Range of responses are valid. You can argue it one way, I can argue it in one way. The way we argue and the way we forward matters. This is what is so important. And this is what I was talking about, the marking scheme the examiner has given us. You can see, now look at the data required, the bottom part of it. No rewardable material, 0 mark. Identifies very few types of useful data and gives a limited explanation, 1 to 3 marks. But level 3, look at, identifies a number of types of useful data, provides a good explanation, 7 to 9. So from 1 mark on the same question, same answer, you might get 1 mark, I might get 9 marks. Okay. Focus try to get 6 marks, 7 marks. That can make a huge difference. You need only 80 marks to get through the exam. So CIMA past papers, variants, good to read it. But I advise you all, don't overdo. Don't try to read, don't try to write those answers, rewrite. Try to write answers on the new case study, Kctp. Any provider, it's all right. Look at some of their mocks, go through their mocks and see whether you can write answers on this one. But go through those past papers just to get an idea and to get, the feel. But I want to warn you, those answers are not meant to be written by a student. They are meant to be given as advice to the student, guidance to the student. So if the examiner is marking out of 150, my own thinking is those answers are worth 225 marks. Super answers. I mean, that is not expected of you and me as students. As students, we need only 80 marks to pass through that exam. So if you can write Just over 1/3 of those Cima mock answers, Cima past answers, you had done. So don't get intimidated by those answers. Don't lose your confidence reading those answers. How can I do that? No, no, no. You don't need to do that. Those are there to give us a lot of guidance. Even some of the providers' answers, I see they're very, very long. Good answers, but they are very long. But in exam, you need only 700 words for 60 minutes. So don't look at a provider's answer of 1,300 words and think, how can I write that? No, you don't need. But the provider has done a good thing for you by giving those long answers so that, you can get some of those things and do it. So writing answers to the new exam, Kctp, looking at some mocks is so important. So this is what I do. I prepare my mocks and sometimes I take some of the provider mocks, but I modify their answers to suit to the exam and I teach my students. And I give a lot of theory, relevant practical knowledge, and also the current issues in the case study. I don't do too much on the industry analysis and all that because what we need is just to settle the problems, all that. So I do a little bit, but not too many. I don't want to spend 3-4 hours on industry analysis. I think we can spend more time on relevant matters on ETP, TF3 and get through this exam. This is a wonderful exam you can get through. This is your last hurdle. After that, you have finished my exams. You're going to be in a different world altogether. It's a super professional institute to be a member. So if you want any assistance, you can contact me on WhatsApp 9477321938. You can get me on email premakumar55@gmail.com, and my website is under construction again, www.learnwithkumar.com. It should be very soon. I'll be putting up a lot of these videos, all that. Keep watching. If you're happy, subscribe to my YouTube channel. My Facebook page is Learn with Kumar. YouTube channel is Learn with Kumar. And any assistance, you can contact me. Affordable rates, even if you can't afford, any assistance I will provide you. So thank you very much. And if you need anything, just get in touch with me. If you need online tuition, get in touch with me. And I wish all of you good luck for this exam. Relax, keep your calms nerve peacefully, keep your nerves very calm, and read the preset, look at some marks, go through your ETP, TF3, and you will definitely, you will get through the exam. God bless all of you.